as a panelist discussing 25 years of unbroken democracy in Nigeria at the 2024 ThisNigeria newspaper annual lecture and Good Prize Awards. Former Senator Shehu Sani narrated his experiences under military rule as an activist and freedom fighter.
In 1995, a team of soldiers, policemen, and DSS visited my house. It was a journey that began and lasted for 4 years. I was picked up from Kaduna and brought to Lagos together with the late General Shehu Sani. From the airport, we were led to the DSS headquarters. There we met President Olusegun Obasanjo. Unfairly for the soldiers, they handcuffed me and did not handcuff Obasanjo or Shehu Musaradua. And Obasanjo looked at me and said, "Who are you?" I said, "I'm Shehu Sani." "Did you steal something? They are handcuffing." I said, "I'm an activist." I was then the deputy chairman of Campaign for Democracy. We were taken straight to Kirikiri Maximum Prison. We stayed there without anybody saying anything to us. After we were kept in prison, we were then transported from the prison straight to a military tribunal. We were interrogated. Many of those who were brought in there were physically stripped naked and tortured in our presence with cables. And then they say, "You are Sani, okay, this is your lawyer and this is your prosecutor." All of them military people. My prosecutor spoke for 5 minutes. My lawyer asked for a lesser sentence without asking me what I have done. I was sentenced to life imprisonment for treason. At that time, Dr. Beko Ransom Kuti was arrested and brought to the prison. He was also sentenced to life in prison. The late Eradua got death sentence. Obasanjo got life in prison. I got life in prison. And journalists who were together with us were also sentenced to life in prison. After that, we were returned back to our prison. Then they came to the prison and told us that we should be happy. Our prison has been reduced from life to 15 years each. I got 15 years, Obasanjo got 15 years, Eradua got life, and others. Then they said, those of us from the north should be sent to southern prison, and those of them from the south should be sent to northern prison. That is how I found myself in Port Harcourt prison, which I've never even been to Port Harcourt at that time. So straight to Port Harcourt prison. I was in Port Harcourt prison when Kensaro was brought in and hanged. I can see them from the window. While I was in Port Harcourt prison, I wrote a letter to Nigerians. It was published. I was then removed from Port Harcourt prison, taken to Aba prison in Abia State. Kirikiri, Port Harcourt, Aba, Abia State. We stayed there until we had the news Abacha died and freedom came after 4 years in prison.
He recounted that when he and others regained their freedom from prison after Abacha's death, the freedom fighters were given the opportunity to lead a civilian government, but politicians seized it.
When we came out from prison, this is where my story is going to begin. Abubakar invited all of us who fought for democracy that I am going to hand over power to a democratic leader, and I want all of you, the freedom fighters, to come together and take over power. At that very time, Gani opposed it. 3 times he was inviting us. We even refused to answer his call. And he invited the politicians. He didn't even invite them. They were knocking at his door. After we decided to listen to him, we came and sat down. What do? We are just coming out of it. That is what the ANC in South Africa did. After the struggle, They took over political power. But after our struggle in 99, 98, 99, we made a fundamental mistake and said we are not going to cooperate with the military. Michael Zokome is sitting here, is one of those who oppose that we should not join. Gani opposed, Falana opposed, Olisa Obakoba all opposed. It was Tinubu who said, if we don't get in, who is going to be there? By the time we all agreed to join the politics, politicians have taken over all positions. Michael Zokome tried to be governor of Edo State, he couldn't. Olisa tried to be president, he couldn't. Gani tried to be president, he couldn't. Falana tried to be governor of the state, he couldn't. I tried to be governor of Kaduna State, I couldn't because the space were all taken over.
The Honourable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, responded to Shehu Sani's remarks by saying that the fact that in today's Nigeria under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, no one can experience what Shehu Sani went through under military rule is progress and should be acknowledged.
Just like Shehu Sani said, how they were locked up, how they were detained. Can he say under this democracy, any Nigerian has found himself under that state? That's a progress. That's the progress. We should give the impression and say we have not made any progress.
In a way of suggesting that activists may not be better leaders than politicians, contrary to what Shehu Sani implied, he asked the former legislator what he did differently as an activist when he served as a senator.
And that the mere fact that you were active don't mean that you do well. No. That they did not allow you to be good. No. Activists have always failed. Activists have failed. We have seen activists that were given appointments, and yet they failed. When you were in Senate, how did we perform? What was our performance as senators?
In a recent television interview, when asked to respond to Wike's comments, Shehu Sani said he preferred to respond to Wike at a function, among other remarks.
Wike is my good friend. I would have preferred to reply him in an event rather than on TV. When an opportunity comes next, I'm going to take him on. But nobody can demean the struggle which we did to free Nigeria from military dictatorship. If not for the struggle we did to disestablish a military dictatorship and restore democracy of Nigeria, people like Wike wouldn't have become a local government chairman, a governor, or a minister today. He's a beneficiary of our struggle, the sweat and all that we have invested in it. And at a certain time, I was in Port Harcourt prison, and which serving a prison term as a political prisoner. And where was he at that very time? But I believe that next time we go to an event, since I know his formula of speaking last and then closing the chapter and everyone should go, it will never happen. He will certainly get a reply. You know me very well that I don't hold prisoners. And it's even later I learned that we are age mate. But I believe that he will get the next reply next time he tried that in any forum.